Welcome to NTR Radio. I'm Tom Force Anubis.
I'm K-Gods, and VZ will not be joining us because he is actually fighting with Mark 1.
Yeah, the Mark 1 showed up, and VZ Mark 1 is pissed. Not happy.
Yeah, so I'm not sure he's actually safe. He actually could be very well captive in a Colombian warehouse somewhere. We don't know.
Reinforcements are en route.
Anyway, though, this isn't going to be a typical episode.
No.
Or, in fact, you might not even consider it an episode.
It's on the YouTube. It's set as a regular episode. I'll probably just make it a Gaiden episode. We don't intend to go for particularly long. One, because we're down a man, and two, because there will be an announcement later in the podcast. Do not be alarmed. It's nothing serious.
No. All will be made clear. Do not look at the man behind the curtain. Anyway,
that said, we do have a topic.
We do have a topic. Dead air.
Dead air. Actually, this is something I commented on a while back on Iyashikei, which there's a new Iyashikei site. Again, do not be alarmed. So the link is going up very shortly. Just give me a sec to check on something.
Pardon my crappy mechanical noises.
Those are the reinforcements that are on their way.
Yeah. VZ answered the call. He was looking for ghost lolies.
Naturally.
He can't resist the apparition bait. I just realized.
Blame him.
I just realized the link you posted out there. Interesting choice of a picture.
The butt. Yeah, I just saw that as I opened up the images folder. I'm like, that's a good picture to post with the link.
That'll work. That'll do. You could roll quarters off that.
The link to the article is up in the IRC. Iyashikei.moe. This is originally from about a year and a half ago, if I'm not mistaken. Could a hentai convention work?
That depends. Are we? Could it work? I think it could work very well, but depending on what you mean by that.
Yeah, exactly. A friend of mine recently shared some interesting news with me. Apparently, someone out there is trying to put together a hentai convention. Naturally, they're calling it a hentai con. They've already got a Twitter, Tumblr, and Facebook page set up. All very recently, too. Recently, as of like a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
So it got me thinking, would a hentai convention work? And if it could, how would it go down?
There'd be a lot of that.
Though relatively underground compared to the rest of the fandom, the hentai community is very tight-knit, passionate, and open with each other about their entertainment. The gathering of hentai fans might at first strike some people as weird or seedy. The truth is, people who enjoy hentai are more or less normal adults, and when they get together with a common interest in mind, it's a very vibrant social occasion.
We're gonna have to kind of disagree on what are more or less normal adults, depending on what we're talking about here.
Well, when I say that, what I mean is like when I went to the Faku meetup at Anime Boston several years ago.
Oh, okay.
Like, you couldn't die. You couldn't differentiate our gathering from like any other gathering of people at the convention.
I mean, you know, let's not pretend somebody who likes tubivore is normal.
Tubivore is something entirely different, by the way.
But
That's exactly what you think it is.
Yeah, not only is it, first off, it is a real thing. I'm not making it up. I was actually shown this, and my retinas are still hurting. I don't get it. I'll just come right out and say I don't get it. All I can hear is somebody going.
But it's like the image of some dude just comically with his legs dangling, kicking up and down while being engulfed by a sousaphone.
Yeah, basically, if you've ever seen that, there's an old Ren and Stimpy cartoon where Stimpy basically goes into his own belly button.
Oh yeah.
By the way, it's weird and disturbing as fuck. I only saw it one time when I was pretty much in my young years. We'll go with that. And I still haven't completely recovered.
Anyway, continuing. In addition, to a certain extent, a gathering of hentai fans can be expected to be more accepting of each other's preferences given the common grounds all hentai comes from, vice the wide range of different kinds of anime. Hentai fans rarely talk badly about each other's preferences. When around other hentai fans, the attitude is, we know why you're here, just don't leave a mess.
I need, again, sorry for all this interjection, but that's kind of why I'm here.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry, I'm just having bad flashbacks to Makoto's fucking in the lounge with that really
the break room.
Yeah, that nasty ass bucket. That's got all those used like rubbers and stuff in them.
Like, listen, I get it. You're horny high schoolers, but can someone empty the bin, please?
Well, where are the janitors?
Well, to be fair, they set that up surreptitiously, so the janitors don't know. But I'm sorry, if you're gonna do that, someone needs to empty the bin. Like, that thing was full.
Yeah, that thing
nothing but balled up tissues.
That was a week's worth of mating.
So, Jesus, like, just go in and change the thing,
or very least, throw away the bucket.
Have multiple bins.
Yeah,
just
I mean,
take the bins.
Just have like some nasty.
Burn it.
Yeah. Actually, for sanitation reasons, that probably would be a better idea.
Oh, yeah. Continuing. That said, already in the group's Facebook page are people expressing concern for safety, which is 100% reasonable to be concerned about. If HensaiCon wants to put on a good event, they'll have to address safety concerns very clearly, especially in terms of cosplayers. Well, how would a HensaiCon happen? What would be its programming? Who would fill the dealer room and artist alley? Late nights at many anime conventions already comprise fan panels centered on adult anime. Titles like Dick and Buster's Hentai Dubbing Extravaganza, A Girl's Guide to Hentai, and A Beginner's Guide to Effed Up Hentai already populate the tail ends of con schedules nationwide.
You totally... Sorry.
Yes, I did plug my own.
Yeah, I was just about to say,
listen,
wait a minute, you plugged your own panel?
You can't not expect me to plug my own panel in my own article that I wrote.
Yeah, I guess I should applaud the shamelessness of it.
There's certainly no lack of programming out there for HensaiCon to include. It mostly comes down to the fans. If HensaiCon can manage to attract talented attendees who can provide quality programming, they're all set. As for dealers and artists, the rise of Faku Books speaks for itself. Project H Books could be there, J-List and Manga Gamer could show up, Hendane could bring their boxes of doujinshi. They could even hang their Dakimakura up covers on the wall without having to put post-it notes over the nipples. Not to mention, not all eventers have to sell hentai. They just have to be comfortable with an event like what HensaiCon is planning. There's definitely potential. As a thought experiment, I honestly think it could be a fun event if set up correctly. Whether anything will come of it remains to be seen, but personally, I wish the organizers luck.
And a year and a half later, there is not a whole lot of progress.
A year and a half later, there hasn't been a whole lot of progress. I believe they had set the date for 2018. I'm not 100% sure on that.
They just want to see the new Kogias first.
To be fair, if I was the people organizing this, I'd want to see the new Code Geass first. But they've been using a GoFundMe page to try and gain funding for this convention. Currently, it's at $1,755 of their $10,000 goal. So they're still on the low end. They're aiming for around Christmas 2018. And I believe they're looking at Las Vegas for the venue.
Well, Christmas, yes, a hentai convention. The greatest gift a fat guy could give you.
Well, it's like with all the snow around, you won't be able to tell.
No, see that would be the problem with the hotel management. It would just be like, imagine they would come in there like those people that come in with the fluorescent lights and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that would be. I would feel bad for them because they would.
It's like one time I was painting one of my Gundam models, and I was gonna paint it. I was painting it white, so I was laying down some primer, and the primer dries white. So at a certain point, I had no idea whether or not. I'm looking at things. Is this primer or is this white paint? I can't tell. It'll be the same thing, but with snow and.
Yeah.
Semen.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It just seems like it would be one of those things where, like, how they do that with crime scenes, especially if there's some sort of suspected foul play and, that sort of thing. But, like, this is a newly opened, I don't know, DoubleTree. Something like that. This room smells funny. That being said, have you actually ever been under one of those lamps before?
What, the black light?
Yes.
I've been under one at like.
And then you see your own body under one, and you're like, ugh.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a good thing that that's not what everybody sees, I guess. I think Carlin made a joke about that every bump, scratch, injury you've had since you were born comes back all at once. You start looking like Frankenstein's monster. Anyway.
Yeah, so this isn't the first hentai convention that was put on. Project H Books around 2013 put on a hentai con, except it had a hyphen between the hentai and the con. Summer 2014, excuse me.
Okay. Did it go well?
No idea.
Well, the reason I asked is, I mean, we haven't heard a whole lot about it, so at least it didn't turn into DashCon.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there wasn't like any ball pit constantly like panhandling for money at the con to pay for the con.
Oh yeah, it's like if you look at the Project H's Hentai Con Twitter, it only has like 9 tweets. So I don't know if there was or if anything happened with it, or if like the event even took place.
Well, we have somewhat of an in with them. We should ask. No pun intended. No, we've actually interviewed them before, so.
Yeah, we've had them on the show before. So that said, let's speculate. If this hentai con we're talking about now took off, what would happen? Like, what would be the panels going on? What would be the vendors there? Cosplay?
Right. Well, I would say something like Dojin Online would probably start showing up.
Naturally.
Some of the more risque cast-off figures would probably start flooding in.
Hey, I sell ecchi figures at Shinikiba. I'd be happy to set up shop down at HentaiCon.
I mean, plus, I mean, you'd probably have like the toy people coming in, and when I say the toy people, I mean more like a specific kind of toy.
The ones J-List sells.
Yeah, with really silly, quasi-witty remarks with it. Anyway, I mean, those kind of products would be there for sure.
Oh yeah, it naturally, I guarantee you, Hendane, they'd at least reach out to Hendane to get them there.
Oh yeah,
Guarantee you, Faku would be there.
Plus, if Hindane is there, they got to bring the dude who always yells. I don't know his name, but he's funnier than hell. Like, the stuff he comes up with is great. It's just he almost, and again, I say this with all due respect, he almost reminds me of like the crazy homeless guy yelling incoherent stuff, except it's more just marketing.
Yeah,
but it has that similar like, what the hell, especially if you're not paying attention. Because I mean, I've not physically, but I've bumped into that area without realizing I was passing it before. And
and just happened across it.
Yeah, and you'll just hear him practically with a megaphone yelling all kinds of things. I've heard some places have actually cracked down and won't let them do that.
Heard that too.
Which that sucks. I mean, I don't know anybody except for a very specific, very small, loud minority that is upset by his behavior.
Yeah.
Most other people are good-humored about it. But, I don't know. So, as for panels and stuff, I mean, you nailed some of the ones that would be there, obviously. The dubbing thing is kind of a classic.
Yeah.
I mean, that happens at regular late-night convention stuff, too. Perhaps some more stuff, kind of like how Faku has like the Hentai Worth Watching panel and things like that. I'm sure stuff, or maybe I'm sure there would just be, again, kind of like your own, just gross out ones and stuff too.
The great debate: are traps gay?
Well, yeah. I mean, clearly. And what would happen with that is it'd just be a bunch of drunk guys. Like, can't you just see somebody doing shots of like vodka and they're just like trying to argue one way or the other with that?
Oh yeah, I guarantee you, like half of them would be just drunk panels.
People show
up intoxicated to the panel and just
like some dude yelling. He doesn't even have the mic on,
Well, that actually happened one time. It wasn't like the person actually giving the panel, but pretty sure I told this story on the show before. One time before, I think it was the Faku Q&A.
Okay.
This guy, obviously intoxicated, just got up in front of the thing and started talking about like the latest season of anime. This was around Madoka, I believe. So he was talking about Madoka, and like he was actually hyping up the crowd. People were pumped.
Was it one of those things where he was like really slurring his speech bad and kind of stumbling around and shit?
Well, he was stumbling a bit. Like you could tell he was drunk, but he was coherent. But you could tell he had obviously been
knocked
drinking.
Back a few.
Like you could tell that he had like a Dunkin' Donuts cup, and you could tell there was alcohol in the Dunkin' Donuts
okay.
cup.
I was gonna say, did he do the thing where he's got a flask? where it's like, what could possibly be in that? No. I don't know. Drunk people at cons actually tend to be humorous. Unintentionally, a lot of the time.
They're humorous when they're entertaining people.
Yeah. Or at very least making an ass of themselves.
Like, yeah, exactly.
Did I ever tell you about the one guy when I went to Expo the very first time? The dude who was dressed up in McDonald's gear?
What is McDonald's gear?
Literally just like a windbreaker and like long pants that had the McDonald's logo all over it and stripes and shit.
I hadn't realized that McDonald's made gear.
For lack of a better term. I don't know what the fuck you want me to call it. I mean, it's not
I didn't know McDonald's like had merchandise in that vein.
I'm not even sure this was official merchandise. For some reason, I actually think it was just made. Like, you know, like that maybe they took like the logo and basically just did the like wallpaper pattern thing and printed it onto clothing like that. And in any case, he had McDonald's clothing. I don't know what that was all about, but I'll never forget it just simply because it caught me off guard. Like, okay, are you cosplaying as a cheerleader for McDonald's?
And as a hardcore careerist McDonald's shift manager.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Really trying to compete with your competitors there, but that's probably unnecessary. Remember that Juggalo? It's in the chat. Yeah, I do. Juggalos. Have you actually ran across one in your travels, Anubis?
I've never run across one like myself. Or knowingly run across one.
I have. Even in college I ran across one. And they came to school like that.
Like with the makeup?
Yep.
Okay.
Wasn't show and tell type thing either. They actually just went to their classes like that. They weren't doing anything like specific or because I asked. At that point I was fucking curious. Like I was like, you know, the curiosity factor is just too great here. You know, magnets, how do they work? You know what I mean? Like, I got to ask him because I'm going to go home today and be thinking, what the fuck was that about?
Like, 'cause you just want to walk up and like,
what are you doing?
Why? What are you doing?
Basically, yeah.
I am so sorry. I had no idea.
There he is. He finally
He's here.
No,
okay. So BZ,
you didn't.
we're talking just to catch you up, BZ.
Yeah.
We're talking about a hypothetical hentai convention.
Okay. But did you get to the first? Did you? What are you on the second part of the show?
We finished the article. We finished the article. We're talking about We're just talking speculating on what would even happen at this hentai convention.
Can I talk about anime I'm watching after this?
We're not really doing that this time.
We're not doing that. We're just doing a short show.
Oh, okay. I am sorry because you didn't tell me you were recording.
I didn't
tell you we weren't recording.
No.
So here.
Here's
what I want to
impart.
You know, if they're gonna do
all right
thing.
But I see it now.
Con sanctioned orgies, like the con orgy. We had however many episodes ago talking about, but they're actually sanctioned by the convention.
What is it? Gonna be like one of those?
That would be legal. Like,
I remember, looking at that really fast, that article. This reminds me of something that happened over a decade ago where they had a 21 up con.
They have a few of those. I know I don't know if it's still around, but I know there was one.
All I know was the ridiculously low number turnout.
Oh yeah.
Like 400 or something, really low.
Because I mean, you look at regular anime conventions, you got to think how many of those people are just like teenagers.
Also, hey, guess what? I have the same exact pencil you're holding.
Oh yeah,
look,
lead holder.
Yeah. Isn't it great,
dude? Listen,
just one
don't,
thing.
Listen, no, VZ, don't tempt me, because you don't want to get me talking about Hobby Lobby, all right?
No, I want to warn you. This part, don't put too much pressure because it can break. After
I know all about I used one of these pencils for 4 years in high school. Trust when I say I know all about these things.
Okay.
Going back to the hentai con, and you were saying, would that even be illegal? That'd be one of those things where you'd have to sign like forms and shit.
Yeah, everyone would have to sign waivers.
Yeah, basically saying that, well, if you get super AIDS, it's your own fault.
Super AIDS.
You know? Basically. But no, it's just be like, would that be one of those things where kind of like, you know, how nightclubs and stuff have the VIP rooms? Where people pay extra and they go and they, you know, things get kind of under the table kind of shit.
Well, it'd be like, and realistically, I don't actually think like the hentai convention would sanction this kind of thing, but it'd be like, they'd probably do the same thing. You normal people don't know this is happening, but it'd be like more.
That was the battery delivery fairy.
Like it's like,
yeah.
See, that was the ghost of the defeated Mark 1.
Yeah.
See, no.
So
I love the fact that after I said that, sirens are going off in the background where I live. See, they heard us talking about these orgies.
Orgies.
So obviously it isn't legal, and all of us are about to be arrested.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously. I mean, you know,
it's the high.
Well, no, it's because you asked if traps were gay.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, now, I don't know. I'm just trying to vision like what the guests would be.
I get this great visual of
probably a lot of half-naked cosplayers.
No, I'm thinking of like artists and such, like, you know,
Russell.
Yeah, Russell.
Russell.
We know what's his face goes to U.S. cons. Toshio Maeda.
Yeah, where he just have like some kind of tentacle exhibit or something like that.
Or let's see.
No, that sounds unsanitary. Yeah, see, that you must not have heard us talking about that earlier, because we were talking about the school days lounge.
Apparently,
I really should watch School Days one day.
You really should watch School. If you want an anime that's gonna piss you off.
All right.
School Days, man.
But you have to watch Arashura one day too.
I'll watch Arashura. Don't listen.
And then you'll get
you anime can piss me off as big as School Days and Shuffle. Those are the two.
Yeah.
But anyway, go.
But no, here's the thing, and don't quote me on this, but apparently, like the real, not the ones not the orgies you find on Craigslist at the convention.
I forgot about that. That's the one thing Colony Drop did that was actually fucking hilarious. When they were pointing out the really bizarre like want ads for better.
All every convention gets those Craigslist ads, but I'm talking the ones you don't find out about, the ones you have to know someone who knows someone to find out. Shit. Yeah, exactly.
It's like all right, okay, knock on the door, do, and then like the little thing slides. It's like, what's the password?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like
But apparently, those are like really clean and sanitary. Like they're very safe. They're very clean. Like
that's almost hard to believe.
They have prophylactics for like to supply an army. Like apparently they're like.
They robbed a high school.
Should I mention that? I have this idea in my head about like exhibitors, but I don't know if I should say what one of them would be, even though I know that they work with us.
Let's just not worry about that right now. We kind of already went over that a little bit.
Yeah, we already went over
like
Faku and Hendon and Project H and whatnot.
I was also thinking J-List.
Yeah,
J-List.
Well, it'd be there. Have you seen those shorts?
Oh yeah.
This
give me a pair of those shorts.
ReZero shorts.
Ram and Rem looking at the butthole area.
Actually, I think those were on backwards.
Oh, I've seen Nanaha ones of the the front.
I know exactly the ones you're talking about.
you know it's true. He'd be over that like flies on shit. Okay, let's bring it back.
But I mean, it sort of makes, because like they have like conventions for like BDSM conventions.
Oh, for sure.
Where people will go in and
have you
so like
have you
if
seen
they
those,
can get
like,
those people on board, that could work.
Have you seen those like underground kind of like East European things like that?
Oh yeah, like they have like a bunker or like an
Yeah, it's like some
old
it's like
bunker
some old
or an armory.
war bunker that they've made into this like sex dungeon.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got this really like crazy techno music in the background. Just yeah.
Meet the people who made School Days, the game.
Yeah, so
Take your
everyone can shout their hatred at them.
I don't know. I think for safety concerns that might be bad.
They'd have to put them behind bulletproof glass.
Yeah, kind of like how they shift the Pope around.
Make the
Guards.
one. Oh, so it's a panel, but there's a glass.
Yeah. It's like when you're talking to prisoners at jail, like with the phone.
Or meet the people that made what's that one? Sai no Uda.
Oda.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's.
Are people mad about Sayano Uta? I wouldn't know. I haven't gotten that far in the game. But
no, that's just
one people are mad about.
That's just what the fuck.
That's Urobucher though.
Yeah.
Oh,
right?
He wrote that.
Yeah, Mr. Modica himself.
Yeah.
Right? He did, didn't he? I thought so. Okay, now that pisses me off. Do I really got to look that up now?
While you find that out, I actually have a really hilarious suggestion from a friend of mine who's watching live, sending me through Facebook messages. Apparently, I should run it. Me and this individual like we're the people who know people who know people.
Okay.
Like apparently, a mutual friend of ours knows the individual who puts on kink cons in Connecticut, which is news to me. I didn't know there was one of those things in Hartford, Connecticut.
Only if we could then do LoliCon.
The name just sells itself. Nobody's gonna
go to that convention because they're gonna think it's a giant sting operation,
and they'd probably be fucking right. Okay,
meet Russell.
Yeah, there's no way anyone's gonna show up to that con.
They just walk in, and all of a sudden, there's just like it's pitch black. It's like, okay, I know this is gonna get.
They walk in and like a cartoon, just a giant cage drops from the sky.
Yeah, it's with some.
So what are you doing here?
Yeah, Chris Hansen walks out, and it's like King God said, it's the pitch black room, but it's like a spotlight on Chris Hansen. He's just walking out. You can hear the heels clicking.
You're free to leave. You're free to leave now.
No, but okay. Yeah, the original plot was written by Gen Urobuchi.
Okay.
So yeah.
No anime adaptation.
Not yet. I guess they could happen eventually. Probably not though, considering it originally came out in 2003.
Well, apparently this Hartford, Connecticut Geek Kink convention happens like really soon.
All of a sudden, Anubis is looking at his calendar, just kind of like.
Listen, I'm not doing anything. August 11th through the 13th.
We shall see about that. Don't make me.
I'll have a con report.
Don't make me. don't make us put an RFID chip in you.
The pink pineapple panel.
No, VZ. You and I both know. Sadly, we're not going to get the pink pineapple panel. They refuse to do business in the United States because of reverse importation.
How about the Poro panel?
That's the panel I'm going to.
Yes. You know how there'll always be the one or two, sometimes a little more, 3 or 4 panels that are just completely batshit. You know, they're the ones that usually happen toward the end of the con.
The Hentai panel.
Well, yeah, but what I'm referring more to the ones that talk about things like transformative practices and weird shit like that.
I'm curious, but like almost.
I'm not saying if you if you've been to one. I'm talking about that these happen at pretty much every con.
No, I don't know what you're talking about as far as transformative practices go.
Well, no, my point is they have these like buzzwords.
It's like, is Is this are we going into furry porn now?
I guess that could technically be something like that, but no, I was actually referring to more how they just have these really kind of obtuse titles that they're basically like workshop bullshit, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so what you're saying is like they're more like talking about concepts and stuff.
Yeah, but they're usually just completely taking them from way out in like liberal arts somewhere.
So basically like Susan Napier shit.
Sort of, but in this case, it's usually more identitarian crap.
I had to read that in art school, by the way.
So imagine there being at least a couple of those. So it'd be like Euclid and his principles applied to hentai.
If that were the case, I'd go to that just to find out
what the fuck that's about.
How far they can stretch these concepts.
Which, by the way,
how far they can stretch, I don't know.
Yeah,
I was about to say Urusakajoji, but we read that one article where we talked about it being like an allegory for the nuclear bomb.
No, I read
obviously we can
allegory for AIDS.
No, yeah. That's what he said. It was the allegory for, basically the HIV epidemic.
Yeah, so obviously we do know how far they can stretch.
Well, I mean, giant phallic tentacles destroying buildings and stuff is totally indicative of immune deficiency.
I gotta go real quick into according to Susie Napier, anime is usually made up of like three things. One was the apocalypse,
which that considerably dates it.
The other one is nostalgia, and the third one, I think she called it like the elegy or whatnot. It's like basically like I'll put it in simpler terms. It's like weird shit for like the sake of weird.
So Pomo.
Yeah,
So basically the crap that they try to insert into indie games and shit.
U.S. indie games.
U.S. indie games. Okay. Okay, fine. Geographically, U.S. indie games.
Well, no, because if you look at like Japanese indie games, for example, like 25% of Japanese indie games is let's take this one thing and mix it with Virtual On. So, or if you look at like, and this is something weird that I've noticed, and this, honestly, this could be a panel at HentaiCon because this is just something very odd. If you look at like the original English language visual novel scene, American indie game scene, where they're trying to deal with like concepts and stuff, like you'll be hard pressed to find an American made visual novel that's like a cute girls game. Like you're not gonna find Too Hard in the American visual novel scene. Whereas
I gotcha.
Japanese game scene is like it's just cute girls everywhere. It's like 90% of the shit's too cute girls.
I guess you could kind of be like Katawa Shoujo, I suppose.
Yeah, Katawa Shoujo, like, and here's how you know that this is an anomaly for this medium. What are the two biggest original English language visual novels, like, or two of the biggest OELVNs? It's Katawa Shoujo and Honey Pop.
Yeah.
So, the two that most emulate Japanese visual novels fool the original English language scene, but the rest of the scene is still trying to do their own thing. And also, you can make it an argument for Valhalla as well, which is another cute girls game. Not in the same vein as the other two. It's a lot closer in narrative to other OELVNs, but it is a cute girls game.
All right.
Tanya in the IRC mentions Nekopara. That's not original English language. That's originally Japanese.
Okay, do we want to kind of move past the hentai con, or do we got more to say?
I think we're all set on hentai con. I'm really thinking about checking out this thing happening in Hartford on the 11th. Not gonna lie.
I like the idea of you showing up and it being imagining it being completely something different than what you're expecting.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just a bunch of people in fucking dog suits running around.
Something somehow weirder than what I was expecting.
Yeah, just like some kind of Rocky Horror Picture Show fans or some shit running around. Okay, you have some other articles, I believe?
Not really. That's the only one I had that really had any substance to it.
I thought you said there was some shit about some stuff you found like on Reddit or something.
I was looking on Reddit, but I didn't really find anything worth discussing. There was that one thing about Funimation suing.
Oh yeah, you did mention that.
Yeah, so long story short, back in early June, I believe, Funimation filed against basically what they're trying to do is subpoena the records of an organization that does business with ostensibly Kiss Anime to try and get them to stop streaming One Piece illegally.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't find a follow-up.
But they don't send One Piece, or they don't stream One Piece. They stream the whole thing. Okay, that one was terrible.
Where's my drop-ins? Jesus.
Jesus. Fucking dude.
Someone had to do it.
So I had that, but I couldn't find a follow-up because that was from like a month ago. So I assume that they settled. I don't 100% know, but until more happens.
As far as I know, Kiss Anime is still there.
Oh, you're not gonna kill Kiss Anime. Like that.
Oh, look, Gray Forrester and the thing. Grown.
Yes.
We'll just rebrand ourselves as Kiss Sis Anime.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Or they'll
Change it to a .tv or something.
Or yeah, do a different top level domain. You're not gonna kill Kiss Anime.
They're still trying to get the Pirate Bay. Come on.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll give them credit just for the mockery they're making of them. The way they keep moving around, it's actually kind of humorous.
They know they can't like get gotten permanently.
Well, actually, that reminds me. I don't remember if you guys ever seen this or not. There used to be, again, before Cracked was completely crap. It used to be at least
Cracked.
Yeah. Well, it used to be at least mildly entertaining, and there was one. You've read the old articles.
Yeah.
There was this one. I think it was just a typical top 10 list. That's like, oh, the top 10 times criminals made a mockery of the law. And one of them was a guy who was wanted, and they were after him, and he was taunting them over social media the entire time, like telling him like he would post like pictures of himself and his location or something like that if like he could make it to Christmas without being caught. and the entire time on Thanksgiving, he's like taking selfies of eating a giant fucking turkey thing, like giving thumbs up and making faces and shit. It was fucking hilarious. And they didn't catch the guy either. He actually did make it past his goal.
It's like, yes, the guy's an asshole, but at the same time, what are the police doing?
It really is just too funny to not laugh at. It's like, hey, looky where I'm at, taking a picture at this phone, at this on the corner of this payphone, where this place is.
Take them away,
But
boy.
you're not gonna take down Kiss Anime like that.
Hey, I'm the one that gives the lines. Bake them away,
Really,
toys.
the only way you're gonna kill Kiss Anime is by bleeding its user base, by providing better services.
Which, by the way, I do find a certain kind of wince-inducing thing when Crunchyroll kind of gets on their high horse about that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm two ways about that. I agree wholeheartedly with their message, but I don't like the practice of trying to guilt people into.
Well, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work, and it comes off to me as tacky. You have this arsenal of ways you could bring up people over to your service, and instead you decide to
We're not Anime Strike.
Try and guilt people. Anime Strike's another thing where it's like, I really want to love Anime Strike, because realistically, my concern is I don't want Crunchyroll to be the only dog in the.
Well, there's HD Dive
in the pound.
Yeah, and now we got High Dive. So, but in people are big up in High Dive, and I get that. My thing is, I just want there to be as many as possible, like, as many as the market will bear. I don't want there to be one or two real big ones, and the rest are just out here languishing. That's my concern with.
And I understand. I understand that.
That's my concern with stuff like Anime Strike and Crunchyroll and High Dive and Daisuke.
Yeah, like I said, I understand that, because I know where you're going with that. You're going with that when there's like a Walmart that pretty much either puts other places out of business or pretty much pulls everything into it. And pretty much
it's the standard argument against the why, like, it's the reason why the concept of a monopoly is bad.
Oh,
because
exactly.
When there's one at the top, and you're basically only getting your product from this one company, they can do anything.
Yeah, they can get away with pretty much anything and any kind of unreasonable practices and whatnot.
Like, we thought it was
how many times have Microsoft had to been busted up?
Well, yeah, we thought it was a bad move when Crunchyroll got caught having their bit rates. What happens when Crunchyroll's the only streaming service in town?
Basically, what happens is the same thing that happens.
They want to do.
Basically, the same thing that happens with Otaku USA. We're the only anime magazine around. Deal with it.
And what really happens is everyone just moves over to Kiss Anime.
Yeah, realistically, probably.
So both for the benefit of the consumers and the companies doing this stuff, I would like a diverse market, and that's why I want to like Anime Strike, and I am subscribed to Anime Strike.
Is that the Amazon one?
Yeah,
that's Amazon's service. So, and I do use Anime Strike. So
I think the name's interesting.
I probably would have chosen a different name. What it strikes me as is Amazon.
No pun intended.
Kinda, sorta, the anime market. Not nearly as much as Crunchyroll obviously does, but it strikes me as like, we need a name for this. Pick anime and then throw a dartboard at an open dictionary and see what comes up.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, it's almost like when you've got some bigger kind of like corporate entity, like, I don't know, Universal Pictures or something, and they basically grab one of these distribution, or licensors.
See, I'm kind of two ways about that.
On one hand, they got financial muscle and a much better distribution unit and everything. But on the other hand,
Right.
they're coming from an outside perspective that doesn't truly understand the market.
Well, in that, but on the first hand, again, they have standards, and if X part of that company isn't performing well, they're going to hold them to a particular standard. Whereas if you let any of these companies stand alone, regardless of whether they understand the market, regardless of whether they're like real big, deep in the anime fandom, if they don't have standards to hold themselves to, or if they just refuse to hold themselves to certain standards, you get a crap product anyway. Like when people, and I see these arguments on Twitter from time to time. People argue that big companies like Amazon, they don't understand the market, they don't understand the fandom. True, but they still want money. So at the same time, like they're not deep in the market and the fandom, and they're not in with the anime crowd like Crunchyroll might be. But at the same time, like it behooves them to do actions that will have resulted from that anyway. It behooves them to understand, and guarantee you, Amazon has people on their staff. Guarantee you, Amazon is putting a lot of money towards market research for anime. Like they were very aggressive and still are very aggressive when it comes to snatching up streaming rights.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Nanaha A's, Nanaha Strikers. As far as I understand, let me check because.moe, because I understand it, you can only find those on Anime Strike, streaming legally.
Yeah, which some people are already bitching about. So,
I mean, and
Striker on strike.
And I get it. I get it that you got to pay for Amazon Prime and you got to pay the subscription. I get it. It's more money, but if that's the only argument and that's why it's bad,
it's not any different than the complaining about Aniplex, really.
Exactly.
I mean, if you really break it down.
Checking because.moe, Nanaha A's and Nanaha Strikers are only legally streaming on Anime Strike. So if you want to watch those supporting what's going on in the industry, that's where you got to go. And I can't hate on Amazon for being that aggressive, because they're pushing their way into this market, and I think it's a long-term advantage to have companies with some standards in this market. Not to disparage other companies that are in this market. All I'm saying is it'll be a long-term advantage to both the consumer, to the market, and to the other companies in this market for more people to get into streaming. And Amazon, in a big way, is taking this seriously.
I was gonna say, come on, just be honest. You just want to support Amazon to further their drone initiative.
Listen, if the money for my Anime Strike subscription goes to Amazon drones, I'll be very happy.
I don't know. Something tells me. I mean, I just got this funny, hilarious visual of you driving in like a big, like almost like plumber van with a bunch of your gear in it, and like one of these things is flying up behind you, like keeping pace with you, and trying to like load your package actually into one of those slide doors. You know, like they have like for handicapped and whatnot.
Oh, because here's my thing. I recently rearranged my whole desk setup, so now my desk is right next to the window. So now when I order Amazon's drone stuff, I just do this and lean to the left and stick my hand out the window to grab whatever.
As it's going by.
It's just, hey, here's the drone. Now I have my product. Listen, Amazon is the future. Maybe not the future of anime, that remains to be seen, but it's the future of everything else.
I don't know. I just like the idea
all I'm saying.
of I just like the idea of somebody going, okay, I want this thing, and then 3 or 4 hours, here it comes. Just in this little I don't know what kind of standardized design they'll use for that.
Probably like a quadcopter with the product underslung.
Is the Surface out like there, the drone delivery?
They're still working on it, and no doubt they're gonna have to.
The biggest thing isn't even the technology; it's the regulations.
Yeah, exactly.
Because some jackass is gonna down one, or it's gonna get in the way of actual normal air traffic or something like that.
Well, it's
birds attack it.
Birds attack it.
Well, it's like under current FAA regulations, like if you live within, I think it's 5 miles of an airport, you're just not gonna get drone deliveries at all.
Yeah, I would think that would be a big no-no in this like heightened security time we live in.
Well, I ain't getting no drone deliveries.
Yeah, so that's the sort of thing that they're gonna have to change it or make some kind of exception for commercial drones or something like that, or Amazon's just gonna have to register every flight within five, which is gonna be taxing on their part, probably cost prohibitive to the consumer.
Yeah, I could see that being one of those things that kind of has the domino effect to where you end up paying for it basically through taxes or some shit.
Yeah.
Anyway,
you know what? Until then, Sakano season 2 is on Anime Strike.
And then the drones evolve into the flying things from the Terminator.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay. Are you referring to the ones from you're not referring to the ones from 3, are you?
No. There were flying ones in Judgment Day.
Okay, yeah. I haven't seen it in a while, so I'd have to rewatch it to fully get the idea.
Well, I don't know. I don't think there were flying ones in the first one. I know that there were the tank ones.
Right. Anyway, yeah. This is what Amazon drone hath wrought. Just all those like exoskeletons and like dead bodies and shit.
That's not all I'm saying is
Skynet delivery.
Skynet deliveries.
Yeah, exactly. So this is what happens when everyone starts watching Nanaha on Anime Strike. Eventually, we're gonna end up with the Terminator.
That or maybe like
it's all gonna be Anime Strike. Okay, I finally get why people don't like Anime Strike. They're just visionaries.
Perhaps, I don't know. I was thinking more along the lines of they just prefer the idea of like the Jetsons, where it's like these tubes. It's a series of tubes.
That seems like that seems really cool when the Jetsons came out.
Yeah, but the reality is how it would be so impractical to have all these fucking tubes everywhere.
Number one, it would be a logistical nightmare.
Futurama has tube transport.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like
it would be a logistical
nightmare. Eventually, you just clog the sky with tubes.
Yeah, which again would truly be a series of tubes.
Or Back to the Future, where just everyone has flying cars.
Yeah, and hoverboards, and apparently Jaws is still making sequels.
Naturally.
I love the fact that of all the things that Back to the Future 2 actually predicted, the only one that was truly really spot on was basically Skype. The other stuff like I love the fact that we don't have the auto drying jacket.
Also, widescreen TVs, wall mounted TVs.
Well, yeah, that one wasn't terribly hard to see coming though. But some of the other things, like
dehydrated pizza. You
The
can.
ninja-
You sure can hydrate a pizza.
The Ninja Turtles are not happy about that.
And then,
Nah. Basically, though, that was always the disappointment. Besides the flying cars, I always was like, oh, the auto drying jacket and the ones that fit like resize on you.
or the self-lacing shoelace.
Oh yeah, those were kind of neat too. They remind
auto drying. Yeah.
They remind me a little too much of the Velcro thing, though.
Listen, when you were 6 years old,
Velcro was awesome.
It was two kinds of shoes that made that you knew you were the shit. It's the Velcro shoes,
Which everybody got because they didn't want to have to waste their time tying their shoe.
yeah, exactly, and the shoes with the lights on them that activated when you stepped.
Yeah,
That was
in the heels. Yeah.
If you had those lights in your heels, you were the shit.
Well,
You were the
considering
shit at 6 years old.
was it? Yeah, but I went to the school where people had the pumps.
Oh no,
You press the thing, then you press the front and go. Tss, tss, tss. It's gonna make you. It's gonna make you do basketball better.
Yeah, sure it will.
Well, that was what they were selling it as.
Well, I know, but it's like
that's when you think you're the shit, but you're really as far from the shit as you could possibly be.
Yeah,
I don't know. That to me just sounds like, hey, if I play Shaq Fu enough, I'll get better at martial arts.
Yeah, but considering
yeah.
I went to Guido Land School, that's kind of what you would expect.
Really, I expected there to be more pizza commercials, not so much, basketball.
Anything else you want to go over? Or you want to talk about the new season?
Nah, that's about it. We do have that announcement to make. And,
All right.
Okay, one thing. We've yet to have any submissions for the big $$ contest.
Oh yeah.
That's going to run for a long time, and people will understand after the announcement. All right, ready to drop the bomb?
All right, Enola Gay, let's have it.
NTR Radio will be taking the month of August off.
Okay.
Gonna basically number one, and I want us to give ourselves a round of applause. Not really, because that's gonna be annoying on the recording, but give ourselves a run. We've run without a voluntary hiatus since 2012. Yeah, since 2012.
The only times we actually had one were again not voluntary. They were usually
circumstances
inclement
beyond our
weather.
control. Inclement weather or persistent technical difficulties.
Cthulhu's just mad.
Yeah, so in
Acts of nature.
acts of God. I mean, VZ Sonic Adventure, the end of Sonic Adventure happening in VZ's house.
Oh, I
I thought you were salad.
I thought you were gonna say like the ride from Six Flags, like Tidal Wave, or walk
pool.
Yeah, or something like that. Anyway, no, but there actually have been, considering we don't live in the same areas, the likelihood of us, at least a few of us, having some inclement weather problems is it was bound to happen. Let's just say that eventually.
It's to be expected.
Same with equipment failures.
Check, because naturally, and what I just like is that I can just throw money at the problem now, so we don't have to Yeah, you got to realize how ghetto our setup used to be, recording on Skype through MP3 Skype recorder
with fucking Logitech,
or with a doo-doo Logitech USB headset that only it was only on the left ear, and then the boom mic came down, and it just fit around my head. That was my first headset that I recorded with.
Yep.
Using an entire other laptop for the soundboard.
Right. Which now you use your phone, don't you?
No, I use the a tablet here.
Okay.
So it was that. It was.
Remember, what was funny about that is the actual computer wouldn't work at one point. So you'd be hitting the button on this other thing, and it just wouldn't do it.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why I moved over to using a mixer and
it could have been
tablet.
It could have been worse though. You could have hit the button, and then like 2 minutes later, it would actually register while we're talking randomly.
Exactly.
I'm surprised that didn't happen. To be honest,
I'm glad. What I do know that happened was so it's an old laptop. It's got problems, and it would occasionally make sounds like error sounds, and because it was just hooked up through the headphone jack, that would come through.
So what should we do during our break?
The same thing we do every night, VZ.
Try to take over the world.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. We need to point something out. If you didn't get that reference, first off, stop listening to our show.
If you didn't get that reference, you're probably too young to be listening to NTR Radio.
Yeah, seriously. I don't know what to tell you if you don't get that reference. Anyway.
I only like new cartoons.
Okay.
Got to get on that Steven Universe. I can't even hate on Steven Universe. I haven't even seen any of it. But yeah, over the break, we're going to be going over elements of the show, kind of revamping it. It's still going to be the NTR Radio you know and love, just going to be better and more modern. Put it this way. The show I originally adapted to like the entire structure of NTR Radio on started in 2006. So like NTR Radio is like a podcast from a previous era as far as the way it's structured goes. Like
that's kind of true.
Yeah, it's more like one of those old WoW Radio podcasts because it was structured after one of those old WoW Radio podcasts. So it's more similar to that than really any modern podcast you would listen to. So we're not trying to overhaul or change anything radically.
It's basically the idea of self-analysis, kind of seeing some of the things that worked better, some things that didn't.
Exactly.
And also, there's going to be a couple other things that are kind of periphery in nature. First off, by the time we come back, we'll probably have all the episodes, or at least most of them.
Yeah.
That's going to be one of the things, getting all the old episodes up and about because, well, there's still,
there's still about 10, 12 regular episodes and the Gaiden episodes to put up.
Yeah, so it's getting there slowly but surely, but I think during this time, more of them will start popping up and things will kind of get moving on that because that's certainly been something that we've all been kind of like tinkering with and like, okay, what ended up happening with that was somewhere during the middle when they started to pile up, you changed your editing technique, I think.
It was, I think it was, I changed my editing technique. And after that, it sort of just started accumulating until we basically moved over to the new feed, in which I started just pumping out like 1 through 60 something.
Right, but what I wanted to kind of get on with that was more like, besides the fact that they accumulated, kind of built up, you didn't want to stop the momentum of the current ones.
Naturally.
And that's more why that actually ended up occurring. It wasn't like one of those like, oh, fuck the old episodes. I don't know. A lot of people seem to still like a lot of the kind of jokes and on-running gags that seemingly pop kind of, I don't even know the right word here. Callbacks, I guess, would be the right. No.
Yeah.
I mean, in some cases, but there does seem to be these sort of like on-running jokes, and I think all podcasts have them.
Oh, of course.
That if you weren't really there from the get-go or haven't heard everything, there's a good chance that you're missing out on kind of a joke started here and it just never really stopped.
Right.
I mean, everybody mentions the black time thing, and it's, for example, and that's one that I think everybody kind of gets a laugh out of.
Advanced capitalism.
Yeah,
Advanced capitalism.
Advanced capitalism, which there you go. We all kind of giggled about that. It's still funny. If just because, what the fuck was he talking about? Actually, I do know what he was talking about. It's just stupid.
Yeah, no.
Or the what's the other one from the same person?
We don't all have to be nerds.
Oh yeah, we can talk about football. Okay, yeah, okay. Cool. You hang out on SP. Good for you.
Haven't used this one.
Shout out to SP.
We play football. We get late.
Wow, that's a blast from the past. You haven't dropped that one in a while.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of these drop-ins I just haven't used in quite a while.
Start bringing some of those back. Yeah, so we're going to be basically, we'll have the old episodes up. We're going to be doing some analysis, kind of, again, don't freak out and think, oh no, they're going all Office Space on us. So like, where you're interviewing for your own job kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. No.
Where it's like, is this good for the company banners going to be in the background? No. It's more like, how when people try to make their, I mean, that actually isn't a terrible analogy though, because what they call them efficiency experts.
Right.
And basically what they do is they fire people. But
yeah, they find the things that aren't. Yeah,
basically they get rid of redundancies, and which is funny because I just repeated that. Wah. East Side Javelins, yes.
The East Side Javelins.
That's exactly the kind of callback we're talking about. I still remember when we were actually making fun of that. Talking about,
but yeah, so we're gonna be examining, and come September, NTR Radio will be back, better than ever.
We'll probably have some promo crap. In fact, just so the in between time isn't too unbearable, we'll probably just start leaking those out.
Yeah, we're going to use this time to come up with some promotional stuff.
We'll probably just talk about the summer season overall, if anyone's watching besides me.
Well, yeah.
I have indeed started watching some stuff, but I haven't watched very much.
But interestingly enough, over between this episode and the last one, I actually was I haven't seen this in a while. I'm rewatching that HBO series, Band of Brothers.
Oh.
Have you seen that, Anubis?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, it's quite good. I never did watch
that and the Pacific.
I didn't actually watch it. Is that worth checking out?
The Pacific? Oh, absolutely.
Because I've heard some people didn't like it as much.
You'll hear mixed impressions, but I recommend it.
Okay, so that's good enough for me. I'll check it out.
So we'll be coming up with new promo stuff, basically new everything. It's gonna be all new except it's still gonna be NTR Radio.
I mean
NTR Radio, and love. It's just gonna be shiny.
It's gonna be the Mark II.
NTR? No, we're not gonna call it NTR Radio Mark II.
No, we're not.
It'll be like,
first off, that would be confusing as hell, and technically, I don't even think would be true.
Yeah. We're not going to change the name, but it's going to be like NTR Radio. NTR Radio, the new era. NTR Radio 2.
No. We'll just add a couple of exclamation marks.
I love how people don't know what Mark II is.
Listen.
Maybe a heart or something.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if we actually did that?
Yeah, just like, or put like a heart in between it.
Oh, heart.
An unpronounceable symbol.
Yeah. We'll put
NTR.
Two
Interrobang.
A star.
And Interrobang.
Put a musical note between the NTR and the radio.
Yeah, just put like a treble clef. Just something that's like, am I supposed to pronounce that? Just put the the artist formerly known as Prince in there.
Yeah.
No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that for two reasons. One, that's just not something we do, and two, his lawyers are incredibly vicious.
They're very litigious.
To say the least.
We could have the podcast be a light novel title.
Oh no, we're not doing that. No way. Even that might be good as an April Fool's joke, but I don't think Anubis would like that.
That'll be good as a show title. There's no way you're going to get me to say a title that long every time we open the show.
Yeah, exactly. But basically, we're just going to be using that time to kind of reevaluate some things, work out some bugs, most of which...
Get some new features underway.
Right, but basically it's... I know in Japan, they have a lot of upper management people that do that. That basically do the efficiency experts things like, okay, redundancies, get rid of those. This could be cleaned up. This is unnecessary. Basically, oiling the machine, recharging the batteries, all that good stuff.
Right.
So, yeah, I still like the idea of the exclamation mark. Just because they seem to like doing that. It's like, oh, this is the sequel. Let's just add another one. Just put extra feeling in it. Because there's nothing more worth putting extra feeling in than NTR.
Naturally.
I got a better one. Exclamation point and a question mark.
I already said that.
Yeah, Terra bag.
Yeah. That's the Negimov way.
Yeah, or Full Metal Panic Fumofu?
Yeah, exactly. Never heard anyone say that with the inflection. I'm pretty sure nobody ever says that like the way it's suggested you say that.
I know, that's why.
I love like
I know that
second season for Yuri is it has like two music notes and it's pronounced and it's supposed to be like fua, and I'm like, where do you get fua, which means fluffy, but where do you get that from? Two music notes.
Yeah, it's impossible to pronounce.
Start sticking emojis in there. The poop emoji.
There you go.
Yes.
That's That's like naming a go-kart the Mauve Storm. There's no way.
Yeah, the Mauve Storm. We all miss them. Actually, didn't they want to call it the Mauve Avenger event at the end?
Oh yeah, no, it was the Mauve Avenger.
Yeah, okay. Because wasn't that actually what it was called originally before they got...
Yeah, it was the Dark Avenger, and it was the Mauve Storm.
Yeah, and they basically... And then they did the Reese's Pieces thing. Where it's like, you got your Mauve in my Avenger. That stupid bit. Anyway, basically we're just kind of... Just think of that as the State of the Union address sort of deal.
Yeah.
Where we're kind of just letting you know what's going on. Don't panic. There's not trouble in paradise or hell, however you want to look at it.
Of course, still be around. Like, we're all still on Twitter.
Yeah, until they shadow ban me again, I'll still be there.
Naturally.
Which, at this point, probably won't be long.
So I went dark on Twitter, but you could still talk to me if I know who you are.
I'm on Twitter at TAnubis.
Dead air. Boop.
That's the part where the other people who are on Twitter say what they're on Twitter at.
I'm at classic underscore K gods.
Mine is at VZMK2.
Remember, he's MK2. The first one is actually dead now.
Yeah, the first ones. So while you were out, VZ, K-Guys and I are fighting the Mark 1.
Yeah, he tried to take your spot.
The Mark, the Mark one is I haven't been completely destroyed yet.
Like, he was strong too. He was like doing the Mongol thing where he was just like, grr, you know, I can't read, but I can lift up a tree. Kind of deal.
So you can find the stuff I'm writing at yashike.me. Yashike.moe will eventually redirect there, but you can find my stuff at yashike.me. You can also find where I sell half-naked anime figures at shinikiba.moe. VZ stuff you can find at vzmk2moemekigatai.wordpress.com. You can, in the interim, you can get at me on Skype. Time Enforcer Anubis on Skype. Discord, I'm Time Enforcer Anubis number 4587. Up all the rest of the clones, so bear with me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm at kgod00 on Skype. I actually do have a Discord, but it's not very active yet. I'll get on it eventually. Eventually.
Am I the only one that feels stupid for not knowing what? I've heard of Discord, but I don't know exactly what.
So, like, because Skype is so garbage, Discord came in and I call him as a CM. Discord kind of came in and drank their milkshake. So now, like, Discord started out real big with gamers, and now like people just use Discord for general purpose chat. Like you create a persistent chat, and it has individual channels and voice chat, and they're working on video chat.
I'll look into that sometime.
It's very useful. Zeke Freak has a Discord, so for whatever that's worth to you.
I have an eco.
Speaking of Zeke Freak, check out the Bakugaijin show. Yeah. Also check out Otaku Midnight.
We recently did a sort of a collab.
Oh yeah, that was
NTR Midnight on the ultimate Ori emo discourse,
which features lots of terrible jokes.
You get to hear me talk about why ISA is bad.
Plus, you get to was it actually live when they showed his buddy you shooting the picture with the
No, that wasn't live.
I wish it was. His reaction was great. Anyway,
I'm Tom Enforcer Anubis.
I'm K-Gods.
I'm the late VZ Mark II.
And even though we'll be gone till September, anytime we say it, this is NTR Radio. See you in a month.